Hi guys. So I hope everybody's doing great. Just wanted to say that first, but I wanted to finally list my slow stitching packs, and I'll go through maybe 2 or 3 of these just to show you what they look like. They are amazing. These laces over here, these laces here have not been implemented into the packs, but they will be. So I'll show you, I'll pick 2 of them, maybe 3, and just kind of show you what I've done and kind of tell you early on what's in them. They have a lot of embroidery, hand stitching. There's only 13 of them. And so I could have done 20, but I wanted them to be fat. And if I would have done 20 of them, they would have kind of thinned out a little bit. And I wanted these to be chunky, and fun. So I'll pick, let's see, there's all kinds of, there's all kinds of beautiful pieces in here. So they have, I'll show you some of they're all different. They're the same, but they're different. And we all know how that goes. And I'll probably pick, let's see, I'll just randomly pick 1, 2, 3. I'll pick that one. 4, I'll pick that one. And maybe, let's see, this one. Okay. So those are the ones that I'll show you. But they're all ready to go. And they do come with these little fat packs of fabrics of all colors, but some of the colors are different in some of them. So I'll show you how those look. They come with old vintage buttons. The laces that come in the packs are kind of different, if you can see the laces. So each pack has like 2 lace pieces with it. Let's see if there's a different one. This is a little bit different here. And yeah, so I'll come back and show you what's in them. And there are some super cool surprises. So anyway, I'll be back. All right, guys. Whew, I hope I can make this as quick as possible, but we'll see. So finally, I got my slow stitch packs together, and boy, they're so fun, and they are packed, and they are, so my whole motto is you don't need that much, but in these packs, I put much plus much plus much plus much. So they're good for slow stitching, obviously. They are good for needle books, journal covers, push swifts, what I call mobile sewing stations. Love mine from Carla Frizzell. Just saying. They're good for fabric books. They're good for embellishments. They are good for all the stuff that you are doing in terms of textile bowls, if that's what you're making. They are good for any kind of needlework and all kinds of embroidery, hand stitching, collaging, that kind of thing. So without further ado, I'm going to keep it short. I hope everyone is doing great. I'm doing fine. I finished my first year of the doctoral program, and it's a lot of work, guys, and I don't even want to talk about it. So I'm just going to move on to this, because this is another space of happiness for me. So with the packs, they're similar but different. They have tons of embroidery, hand stitching. I only have 13 of them, and I put aside some pieces, small pieces, because now that I'm not teaching, but earning a living on my stipend. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, so yeah, I'm on a stipend now and not my professor salary. Anyway, so this is what I put together, guys, and I really think you guys are going to love them. Now, I want to preface this feature by saying that these are going into my Etsy shop. If you want one via PayPal, they're slightly less expensive. They're more economical because, you know, Etsy fees. But I'm putting them in my Etsy shop because they will be there. There's only 13 of them, and they'll just sit there. And I have become to terms with this space of just letting stuff sit there until it's found, either by y'all or by people who, like I say, don't know me and will just find it and buy it. Okay. It is worth the price. They are worth the price. So you can go in my Etsy shop and kind of see where, the details are there, but you're getting the details here. And okay, without further rambling ado, let me just go through it. First of all, you get this really cute little pack, and I'll show you 3 of these if I have time and space on my recording here. So you get and the buttons change. So they're vintage buttons. There's some really pretty thread. And again, I went with these are feed sack yo-yos. And then this one is more of a different style, more contemporary style. So you get like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 yo-yos in the pack. And they're all different. Some of them are similar. Some of them are cut. Some of them are still connected. And this is part of the slow stitching pack. And then you get 2 pieces of really pretty lace increments. And then this one. I love this one. They're all different. You might see this one paired up with a different lace. And then there are packs of fabric. They are not all fat quarters. Even if they are fat quarters, remember, you don't need much is how I'm advertising these packs. So don't expect fat quarters. Don't expect for things to be perfectly cut. Don't expect for things to be your usual expectations of, you know, I'm considering this scrap, but it's obviously well beyond that. So there's some pretty fabric there. This fabric is old Liz Claiborne. I wonder if this one has the selvage on it. It's got part of it. Yeah, maybe one of the other ones will have it, but it's a beautiful, very thin upholstery-like, but very thin piece. So I think all the packs got that, and I'm not going to say what all the packs got. It's just you get what you get, but they're all pretty similar. This is my favorite material that I've ever found in my entire thrifting life. And they're all folded, so you get a good deal of that. There's some base. Love that. That reminds me of my great grandmother. She loved pink and green. And then all the packs got 4 or 3, or I'm not sure how many of feed sack potential yo-yo pieces. This is pretty. It's got a lot of roses, leaves. These are increments, little tiny pieces of fabric I had before. Love this one too. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. This one reminds me of my great grandmother as well. The pinks and the greens. More florals. This is kind of a peachy color, pinky, peachy. Not all of the packs have this pattern, but they'll have their own. And then this one here, I think all of them have this fabric. This is really pretty. And so, you know, as we're thinking about slow stitching, like I said, you don't need a lot. And this is a lot for the little that you do need for needle books and traveling sewing kits. Sewing, you know, stuff that you travel with. Okay, so my huswiff that I got. So this is pretty much a sneak preview, and I'm just going to flip everything over. I'll try to do 3 of these. I may not talk a lot with these, just because I want to get through this and get them listed in my Etsy shop. By the time this video goes up, if you're hearing me speak and talk now, they're already in my Etsy shop. If you decide you want to buy one via PayPal, which I will give you a smaller discount if you do it that way, then you'll have to contact me, and my email is still the same as it ever was. Okay, let's go. So here's the back of a panel of hand-stitched quilting design. So all of them have that. And this is another longer piece. This one is machine stitched with quilting pieces and design. And then this beautiful piece here is faux stitched. Love this piece. One of my customers who have been with me for a while bought some of this, and so it's really pretty, and it's kind of got that Asian feel. Now, all of the packs don't have this image here, but the majority of them do. And I'm gonna wrap these. I'll talk about that in the end. I'm just gonna grab and send, so please don't ask me, can you have one with this or that? They're just gonna come as they come, guys. I don't have the same kind of time I used to have, and I'm sure y'all understand, or at least I hope you do. So this piece here has got these old-fashioned, reminds me of my great-grandfather. This fabric here is really light cottony, but it's also got these floral patterns on them. All the packs have that. And then you've got some bases, and all the bases came from pillowcases or other cottons and fabrics that were old, vintage, and I ripped them up. I wanted to make a video, as I'm showing you this, I'll keep showing you and talking. I wanted to make a video of what I was ripping up and tearing up, because again, for slow stitching, you only need a little bit, but I did not. Time. I put some ticking in there. This is very old ticking. Now I am gonna have, this is so beautiful. This was a tablecloth, guys, but it was so marred and had so many spots on it, but it was so beautiful, and it's vintage, and it was loved and used. It tells a story on its own, so I put pieces of that in there. I do have a pile of items that you know, have like spots. So I have a pile for anyone who's interested in spotted pieces, and basically when I put these pieces together, I just collected all the spotted stuff. I kept some for myself because I love the soilings, because again, they tell a story, they're part of a story, and I tend to like that. There's some batten burr, and not all the kits have that. They have maybe a version of it, but it's not the same piece. And this was an old pillowcase, someone hand crocheted and hand stitched, and I tore it and ripped it. This one does have a spot, this particular pack. So as I'm showing you these, you can rest assured that the majority, like all of this, like 98.9% of all the goodies in these packs are, the pieces are vintage, and they are pieces that I ripped up. There's some eyelet. This is a very soft eyelet. And this tablecloth, oh, it was so pretty. This was fitted one of those old school kick out the stand leg card tables. It was that size. So I'm trying to think of what size that is. Maybe like, I don't know, 3 feet by 3 feet. The very square, perfect on all sides around, cubed. And this person who put this together, they did this by hand. So this is all hand done. So you can kind of see where she or he stitched around, and these little pocketed pieces, just very beautiful stuff. And then here's another piece here. I think I've shown this before and probably put that in some pieces. There's a little soiling there. Now, if the soilings were like really like, hey, look at me, I took them out, and I'll show you that pack because somebody may be interested in that. So there's some linen. And where I put these pieces in, not all the packs have this piece, but they have a version like that. So a piece with an edging. This is an old vintage, very beautiful linen piece. And like I said, I'll show you 3 of these. And y'all have seen this before. I've had these forever. I've had these forever. Just beautiful, this gorgeous quality linen and old vintage lace. I would say this is probably somewhere from the maybe the 60s, if not sooner than that. They're just really old, very mid Western style linen. These are bases if you're making a needlebook. This might be a base for you, or a cover of sorts. You can also put it on your spines and books. Another piece of blue linen. And this one has this. And then we get into a bit of crochet doilies. All the packs have a round doily. And then these are extremely old and vintage yo-yos stitched together, possibly for some sort of quilting, or I'm not sure, but they're feed sack pieces. And this particular stitcher, she doubled up around every side in 2s as opposed to 1 with her yo-yos. So you get 2 pieces of that. All the packs have this kind of thing. And remnants I shared amongst all the packs of, you know, the medallions. A piece of pink lace. And I didn't have very much of this, but these were really spotted and kind of soiled, which I love. This is a very beautiful pink, like a baby pink, but it's not that hard baby pink. It's more like a pink that's been hanging around and sitting around for a while. And it too has a story to tell, so it's in there. I don't think many of the packs have that, and I didn't want to cut it. I could have, but I didn't on that one. This one has more Battenberg. This came from a napkin holder. This is gorgeous, and I'm pretty sure I probably kept a piece of this. So a lot of these pieces are pieces that I would keep for myself because I do plan to stitch a lot at some point. So there's some more medallions. That's a remnant. And then this is going to be a sweet surprise for you guys, so get ready for it. They come mostly in purple, but my husband did find some oranges and some browns and some blues with a star. So you all get one of these, and they are the Crown Royal bags. And you'll get a larger one as a thank you with something else. And this is a good time for me to pause and grab . it's a good time for me to pause and grab this long piece of beautiful lace and add it in here. So you all get these, and the reason why I'm putting this in here, this was an afterthought. This was not. I had wanted to put these in here. These are these gorgeous drawstring bags. And so if you are familiar with Kate in the Nest, I absolutely love her. She will stitch all this bag the hell up. I'm just saying. And you know, it's just really fun to see her pouches and to think about what she's doing with these little spaces to hold and host sewing pieces. So there's that. So they all have that. Some of them are orange. I don't have a, well, maybe in the other samples we'll see an orange one, but that's fun. That's fun. That's happening right now. And then we have remnants. And more remnants. The medallions, those are really pretty. That's a nice size piece. You don't need much when you're slow stitching. That's what all the ladies say, and that's the way I'm advertising these. You don't need much, but it's a lot. And then this was really pretty. This came off of a semi-modern pillow sham, but they were trying to mock yo-yos, but the fabric is just wonderful. And so some of them don't have these little cutouts here. They're just that part, but those are really fun as well. And then here's this kind of thing. It's got a little, ooh, Lord, I almost said mancha. That's what it is. It's a mancha. Okay, and then this really pretty, very perfect, light, airy doily. And then this one. And then we get to some more bases, old bases with designs. So that's really pretty. And this again reminds me of Kate in the Nest. Really, really watching her a lot. I did leave a comment on one of her channels, on one of her videos, excuse me, one of her videos, that I have so many of these darling little cups. Oh, my sister's texting me. She'll have to wait. These darling little cups and saucers, and they're old and vintage from my mom. These are Japan. And I'm thinking about, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 of them, and I'm thinking about making Kate in the Nest cupcake packs with these. Because y'all know my mama, and you have, those of you who've been with me for a while, and you know that my mama and I were out and about and around all the time, and I have a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna keep those. So, and they're too precious to sell at the flea market. So, okay, more base here, and this is beautiful linen there. Some of the other packs have lacy linen, but it's still a beautiful cottony linen. This is old vintage. Like I said, most of the stuff in these packs are old and vintage. There's some hand embroidery. Here's some hand embroidery that was started and not finished. They've drawn on this. What were they making? Cross stitch. And this is gorgeous linen. There's the back. I love incorporating old, started but not finished pieces in my stitching. And there's some more hand embroidery there. Reminds me of my Huswiff from Carla Frizzell. And there is a beautiful linen napkin with that turn, what do you call it? Turned stitching around those edges. That's really pretty. I got those from Kathy, from Kat. And this is gorgeous. This is a feature piece is what I'm calling them. And the feature pieces are old and vintage, but they do have some piece that is full, hand stitched, fleshed out, hand done. Just really beautiful. And then what else? This piece is old and vintage. And it too is hand stitched, cross stitch with embroidery. And I didn't cut it, so you get the whole gist of it in this pack. And then you got two pieces of this very old vintage, and I showed y'all this on one of my videos where this particular artist, stitcher, was hand stitching a number of different kinds of birds. And I've sent a cat, an owl. There were 2 owls in here, but each pack gets 2 of these because she loves owls, and so did my mama. So there's that, with some leaves and a bird, and there's a lot of this pretty pink, old vintage. This is machine stitch. This is hand stitched. And I think this artist was, this sewist was doing a quilt of sorts. Some of the birds are, you know, I mean, you can play around with them and do whatever you want. You might even, I don't know, repurpose them in terms of adding your own stitching. And then this is a larger piece. This is a feature piece. These are all feature pieces. And when I say feature, for my definition in this, you only need a little bit pack for slow stitching and needle books and hood swifts and quilting and collaging. You only need a little bit, right? So when I say feature piece, it's a piece that is, you know, pretty wholesome. This is another feature piece here. This has a hole in it. Love it. Marks its vintage state and status. There's a brown spot there. Looks like a flower almost. And so you can expect some pieces like that, but ones that were really marked up, I just tossed aside. And then again, for needle books and things like that, and fabric books and tiny little itty bitty miniature fabric books, these will be pretty. This will be great for Christmas, but there's the purple and the blue in there that kind of marks it in a different light, sets it in a different light. And here's another beautiful piece here that I have cut and shared amongst the packs. And there's that beautiful, gorgeous piece with this beautiful lace, and I've ripped it, cut and ripped. So that's cool. And then it's a lot more. There are these gorgeous pieces with these buds and these lovely flowers. And again, I'm reminded of Kate in the Nest, because I mean, she really does some really cool collaging. As I'm flipping through this, let me just say everything's vintage. It's old, what I'm flipping through. I really enjoy that she hand stitched her quilt in that Australian quilting show. I think it was in Australia, quilting show. She hand stitched hers, whereas others used a machine and a pattern. I just really love, and I think she used the term radical one time, and I really like the radicalness of her work. I really do, because I'm kind of radical. If you know, you know. That's all I can say. This is gorgeous. Love these leaves. It's got some spots there. These beautiful flowers. And then this piece here, this one says doilies. Not all of the pack got a piece like this. I think there was only one more piece like this, and it had some advertisement for, I don't remember, but it's in one of them. But the beautiful part about this is doilies, cut dotted line, and then it's got these really pretty hand stitch little poppy like flowers. You only need a little bit for slow stitching. And then this one here is really pretty, and I don't think, look at the back of that. Just the back of it is so fantastic. Oh my goodness, it's just so beautiful. Very, very majestic, just lovely. And so yeah, I just love that so much. And then this piece is very nice and has a lot of real estate, even though you only need a little bit for hand stitching. Even stitching your own collage in this white space, real estate space, is doable and worthy of my price of these. So yeah, that's all hand stitch. And I'm gonna just say now, I'm not putting these on sale anytime soon. It's worth me letting them sit in my Etsy shop for a while until, again, someone who is not oh gosh, deals and sales now have become really tough. Like I said, I'm not on my teacher salary anymore, my professor salary. I am on a stipend. And so I have moved into a space now where, like most people that charge and, you know, people run to buy their stuff, I'm just not going to sell myself short. And not that that's what I was doing. Look how pretty that is, that hand stitching. What is that called? Basting? I don't know. I'm just going to try and get my money out of these packs, and if not, they will be in Etsy. This is a pretty large feature piece. They will be in Etsy. They will sit there, and when, you know, you or your friends go tell somebody, decide to do some hand stitching and make some needle books. Look at the ring. Don't you love that ring? This will be funny. You can even scan some of this stuff. I haven't scanned any of it, so. And this is a pretty basket. So they'll be there. And I'm not going to do any sales anytime soon. The price is the price, so please don't ask me unless you're buying on PayPal. Then we can talk, and I will give you somewhat of a deal on PayPal. This one is a pretty Saturday. Look at that. Isn't she cute? She's so cute with her little mop and bucket, and it's cross stitch Saturday. I really just like the edging of this. Look at that edging. Those oranges and greens. And I'm not an orange person at all. I love green. I am green, 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 green. I don't like pink. I love green and black. Those are my two favorites. This one I love. I think I kept some of this for myself. Oh Lord, my pile has grown really huge, but I kept some of this because it's really hard to find this stuff nowadays, and especially in this black stitching. And then look at the edges of that all the way around, that tatteredness and you know, frayed edge is just gorgeous. There are, what do you call those, French knots, and then, you know, back stitching, I guess, or satin stitches. This is satin stitching, and I'm still learning a lot of the terminology, but yeah, very pretty. And it looks like that was a circle, and I shared it with another pack. This is really pretty. There's the front of it. Great for needle booking, this way or that way, I guess, whichever way, or it might be a whole page in a book. Great for scanning. Love it. But it's got some stains, and you know, they all do. And then finally, here is this beautiful piece with this gorgeous edge here. That's kind of a pastel, and there's these gorgeous flowers, and this fabric here even if we get past the hand stitching, the real estate that it's generally on, and that's a really big piece, the real estate that it's generally on is so soft and nice and works really well as a base. So there's that one. And then I have a couple more surprises for you. You get a pack of needles and pins to start off. So I put 1, 2, 3, 4 needles in each pack and 6 pins, stick pins to hold down your work. And then you get a pair of scissors. These are really cute travel scissors. They're all different. And then you get 2 packs of floss. And these are random. They come out of a big old huge pack of this stuff I have. Whenever I see this stuff when I go out, I'm not buying or shopping anymore, guys. As a matter of fact, I'll have an announcement that I may be just doing away with everything that I currently have. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. The PhD program is very serious, guys, and I've been serious about it. I made it through my first year, but the second year and the third year and the fourth year, it's going to get more and more intense. I did my first conference in Los Angeles a few weeks back, a month or so ago, and it went so well. I did a symposium, but it's all really, really relative to I have to really focus. So I'm not going away, but I am kind of going away, and I'll explain all of that to y'all later. I have an idea of how I can stay in conversation with you, in community with you, but I am moving away from this kind of sale. Okay, so there's that. That's a pack. And you get this. Okay, so that's kind of the whole pack. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the surprises that's going to come with this. Let me move this down. Oh, and we'll talk about shipping too. So I try to put everything, needles, scissors, try to put everything in there that I imagine that you would need. So before I move on to the other pack, you will get a cut of this. And I bought this a while ago. It's 100% wool. This is what the thrift store put. 100% wool, 3 yards, 16 inches by 54 inches wide. So I noticed that a lot of the ladies who are making quilts and quilt making and hand stitching and cupcake making, those cute little cupcakes that Kate and the Nest makes, are using a lot of wool. And so what you don't see in the pack that I just showed you will be a nice size piece of this. And the last thing, this is the last thing, element, my favorite word. And thank you for those who bought my flashcards. I'm still selling those. Those are really fun. So you'll get a larger crown roll, and my husband scored these, and I'm so grateful because they were so right on time. So in your pack, and there won't be any other surprises, will be all of the slow stitching, all of the embroidery and laces and the stuff I showed you. This will be in there, in a larger one of these drawstring bags will be in there. So, and they're all just so fun, and they're really nice and so beautiful. Look at that. Can you imagine stitching on that like Kate does? I think it's just so fun. Okay, so there's that. And the other thing is, so let me grab one more. So you'll get some of this real wool. Now, this wool smells like wool. I don't know what wool smells like, but that's what it smells like to me. It has a smell, But yeah. Okay, let me grab one more. Wait. Oh. Okay. Whew. Let's look at another one of these if I have time for 3. Okay, I think my camera's okay. All right, so it'll go by faster. So this is another one. There's your buttons, and your thread, your yo-yos. That's old. This is separate from these yo-yos, but they're all feed sack. Those are old too. So you can see how the color changes a little bit. Then here's the lace for this pack. And Gloria Vanderbilt. Let's see if her name is on this one. I'm sorry guys, I'm low energy because I just finished my major projects. Oh no, it's not on that one. Okay, we'll try another one maybe. And I am exhausted, but in a very happy good way. And I am actually looking forward to Mother's Day. I visit my mama almost every other Sunday. Well, every other Sunday, not almost every other Sunday. I missed a couple of Sundays because of the weather, but my husband and I generally go every other Sunday. This one only has 3 feed sack pieces. Oh, and by the way, I have a purple pack I need to show you guys too that I'm going to put in my Etsy shop. This is different. I don't think the other pack had that pattern, or that one, or that one. Okay, so there's that. They kind of vary a little bit, but you know, it's good for creative ideas and creative thinking and getting outside of a typical box. So there's that little bundle of goodness. And I'm going to fly through this pack without talking too much. That's got a spot on it there. Lots of spots. Looks like butter. Looks like somebody used that to cover bread up in. I had some bread covers too, but these are really beautiful cotton bases. They're old pillowcase pieces, and they make great bases. I had some blue ticking pieces, but I didn't put those in there because I didn't have enough of it. And there's some of that gorgeous. This reminds me of my grandmother. She had pieces like that. So pretty. And that was a tablecloth too. So used and loved that one. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's real good linen. And I didn't, some of them have the, there's the pinch test. Sorry, Carla Frizzell, don't laugh. I can hear you laughing. Oh my God, okay, anyway. Some of the packs just have the center of where I cut these off, and I wasn't careful in my cutting or precise on purpose. You don't need much for slow stitching. And this pink lace here is a lot bigger than the other pack's lace, pink lace. Look, there's the orange one. Look at that. So pretty. Those measure, I think these are the general size. These measure like about 9 by 7.5, somewhere around there. So you get one of those. I was so happy to be able to put one of those in there. And again, that's in, the idea comes from Kate. As to idea meaning, that's why I put those in there, because of her and how she stitches and on stuff and turns old purses and stuff like that into pouches. And then there's that one. That one's got 2 of the little stars. Pineapple. Oh, I love these. I kept some of these for myself. Oh, I love these. Those are going to be fun for me to stitch on. Love those. Not all the packs got those. Oh, this piece is so beautiful. Golly, this is so gorgeous. It's old, that filet. Oh, just lovely. And if my cupcake kits based on Kate and the Nest ingredients, if they sell, my mama had so many cup and saucers. Woo, Lord have mercy. A lot. So I have a lot to continue to share. But again, I do have to kind of preface everything and just kind of, you know, just put it out there that I'm not going to be here even more, guys. It's going to become less and less and less, unless it's something very specific. So this is beautiful satin stitched. Look at all that handwork. All done by hand. And this piece was pretty beat up. You can see the spots here and there. But it's just so pretty. It's very fancy. Delightful. Excuse me, I'm burping. I just ate. And this has a piece cut out of it here. Now, I'm not sure if I did that or I must have. I'm not sure what. Oh, I know what I did. I did it. This is the back side of that. This had such a bad spot right here. I was like, oh, I can't leave that in there. I probably should have. But like I said, there's some more spots there. I'm going to have a whole bundle of spotted stuff. And I bet that piece is in there, or I probably kept it for myself. And there's some of that turn stitching. That's a big piece. It's a whole piece. It's got a butter spot there. We love that. You get a little flower there. And then there's this little pocket here. Looks like a daffodil of sorts. I've had some of these before in blue. There's some like daisy loops. This one only has this bird in that old pink hand stitch slash machine stitched. Oh, vintage. This is old. And then so because it just had the one bird, it might be another bird in here, yeah. But just because it has the one panel, I gave this pack a whole entire all yellow pillowcase, red rose hand stitched piece. So wherever, you know, something wasn't, I didn't have enough of something, I tried to make up for it in another way. There's the other bird. And that bird shows up in several, I think in 2 other packs. I'm not sure. But there the bird is. And then this piece here. That's the front, that's the back. Sometimes the back is just as gorgeous as the front. I love that. That's so frou-frou. And then here, these are featured pieces, by the way. Featured, 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 and featured. And then more featured pieces here. This is divine. This is a really pretty basket in this white, clear, perle kind of stitched stuff with these French knots and daisy stitches. And it's a whole piece. It's got a lot on it, so. And it's got spots right there. Very pretty. I like that. And then another featured piece. This is gorgeous. I cut this in half, so half and half with some other pack, but it's got pretty flowers and running stitches, burrow stitches, kanta stitches. all the stitches. And this one is a feature piece, a half piece. It was a pillowcase, I think. And there's a pretty wooden basket, kind of a woven basket. Another featured piece, halved, and it's a gorgeous fan. Beautiful, hand stitched. These gorgeous lace edges. And this piece is really pretty. And it's of a, you know, kind of a picket fence with these little nails. I said clavels in my brain, said clavels, but I said nails, so it came out right. And then these really pretty daisy and pansy like flowers, and just all sorts of really pretty images, all hand stitched. And this is cut in half, so that means that another pack has the other side to it. Lots of pretty, really beautiful stitching real estate here. Okay, so there's that one, and that's a feature piece. This is a feature piece of sorts, and it is literally part of a big pillowcase, and it has cross stitching in purple. It's a bow with little flowers falling around it. And this fabric, of course, we focus on these things, the stitching parts too, but trust me, this real estate here, that's your time to shine, and stitch your own pattern and your own stitching art into that space. And then finally, this is the other part of that gorgeous one. We'll look at one more, and then I'll tell you guys a few things, and then I'm out. So there's that, and that unfolds. So you've got real estate there, and beautiful featured flowers. There is your pack of, and all of these are the same. They have this old vintage gingham, some old vintage cotton, and this gingham yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4 needles. They're all different sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins. 2 skeins of embroidery thread. There's the scissors for these, traveling scissors. And to put the pack back with this, there's that one. Okay, let me get one more. We'll go through, and that'll be it. Okay, guys, we'll go through one more, and because they're all just so beautifully varied, but they have the same stuff. So, okay, so this one has these 2 vintage old buttons. There's thread. Yo-yos. This is a yo-yo separate from this pile. This is feed sack. All of it's feed sack except for this one. And this one has some pinks and greens and yellows, and they're still connected. This stitcher, she stitched in one space here for her yo-yos. That other stitcher, she stitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, she was like serious. So there's that one, and that one has eyelet lace. And then quickly to go through the pack, this is a third pack, just so you can kind of see. Ooh, let's see if this one has the Liz Claiborne. It's not Gloria Vanderbilt, it's Liz Claiborne. Nope, it's not on that one either. Well, someone's getting a selvage that says this is Liz Claiborne. So lucky you. I don't know which pile that's in, but yeah. Okay, let me go through this quickly. That one has a brown panel. This one has 3 feed sack, real feed sack pieces, ready for yo-yos or whatever. And this one is a really pretty Asian-y feel. Now that fabric was in that first one, I think, similar to that. Okay, so there is the fabric goodies to play with for this one. And then quickly, beautiful hand stitch quilting piece. Machine stitched quilting piece. You get 2 panels in that one. And this one does not have the girl on it, but it's got faux stitching, flowers you can embroider. I love this piece right here. And there's a faux letter applique, or what do you call it, monogram butterfly. I like that. This is an old vintage Joann's piece. And the reason why I'm showing 3 of these, I know this video is long, so you can gauge the sizes. This is it. This is a pillow piece, and you can see where I've left the pillow cover. My great grandmother used to press our pillow covers like that. They were just so soft and beautiful. Oh, the days, the days. This is a nice, these are bases is what I call them. You can coffee dye these if you don't like they're not really, this is more stark white than this one. They're not really stark white. So you can make a whole stitching panel out of that. But you can coffee dye these. They coffee dye really, really well. My sister just texted me. I have to pick my niece up from school and then pick up her baby from daycare. So I gotta kind of move it along. I was supposed to pick her up the other day, but she just didn't go to school. Boy, my niece hates school. You would think, coming from a family, her father is a seasoned police officer. Her auntie is a professor, bound to be doctoral PhD auntie in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but somewhere in the future. Her mama is a trauma nurse, and you know, she just, I don't know, she just hates school. She hates everything right now. And well, not everything. She loves to read. That's good. This is a different piece here, and this is beautiful. This is old vintage silk piece. This is gorgeous. This will make a really nice base too. And it's got these not poppy flowers. These, well, I guess they are kind of like poppies, flowers. Those are really pretty, but yeah, she doesn't like school, so she likes to read though, and that's good. Anything positive, I encourage her. And my great nephew is just the cutest little thing ever. He's into everything. He's about to be 2. And he's just all over the place. And, oh my God. Guys, for all you mamas out there, woo, Lord have mercy. And especially for mamas that have a bunch of kids, you know, because there were women in my family that had a lot of kids. One of my aunts, my Aunt Clutine, she had 13 children. 13! Oh my God. And my husband is the penultimate of 7. And so I just, guys, I just had one baby, just one. I'm just one. I'm a wimp. I'm just a wimp. But my daughter was easy. My daughter was, and everybody says that about their kids, but my daughter really, 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 really was a good girl. And it's because I raised her by myself. Because it's almost like, and it's kind of, that's not a positive thing to say, because it's kind of like not a control thing, but, and this is where I cut in half of this one. Some of these got the whole piece and some got half. But anyway, yeah, I just had, and it worked out. Sometimes single parenting can be like the best parenting. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Woo, Lord have mercy. Anyway, kids, I don't have to worry about that or deal with that at all. And that is not a boast by any stretch of the means, but man, kids today, I do have to deal with it when I'm teaching, deal with their personalities. When I'm teaching, that has some spots on it, and that kind of takes place for the pieces with the edging, the crocheted edging. So I just put that in there. It's really pretty. I have to when I say deal with my high school kids, they're really challenging, and it's, guys, in all honesty, it's in such a beautiful way. It's just beautiful. But personally, I'm not a liar about that. I just am, I'm placed in life and where I'm supposed to be in life, and I accept it. I accept it, the where I'm supposed to be. Kids, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. My sister right now is being challenged, and she wouldn't mind me saying this. My sister right now is being challenged with my niece's mouth. Her mouth is, she kind of talks to my sister as if my sister is her friend, and that's not okay. This is a brown pack right here. So that's really pretty. It's not brown, but it's kind of this, I guess that is brown. It's kind of a sandy color. It's really pretty. You can stitch all over that puppy. So yeah, my sister, she's really, 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 really challenged right now. And it's really a challenge. What I've learned, when you have a child that has mental health issues, or you're trying to balance being authoritative and in control, but you're also not trying to trigger or spark any kind of, former ideations or anything like that, or set off that kind of thing. This is a corner from that. I love this. I kept some of these for myself too. The other ones have the little stars. This one just has the round piece, which is so pretty. So yeah, it's, and I just, it's a lot of work, but I think it's a blessing. I think children are just a blessing, to have and to be around. I get my feel, in teaching and with my nieces and my new baby, 1.5-year-old nephew, who is just the cutest on the face of the earth. But it's something about, like, when I go to sleep at night, guys, I don't have to wake up if I don't want to. And a lot of that comes, this is a gorgeous piece. It's old cotton stuff. A lot of that comes too from being a mama so early on in my life. And then here's some of the featured pieces that's whole. Comes from being a young mother very early, and I was committed 100%. And I was kind of disarrayed, I was disarrayed and kind of thrown into oblivion when I had to learn how to live without my daughter, someone who had been there with me from when I was a young girl. And that I cared for and took care of, and had to teach myself how to live differently. And so it's just really weird. I don't know. Life is just really strange like that. And I'm grateful, so grateful. This is a really cool piece here too. This is old stuff. I love children, but do I want to be around them every day? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And I think the older I get, the more, this is really old too, guys, right here. Let me show you that. The older I get, I love children. Love them. I love them when they're not mine. I love mine. My daughter, of course, it's a different conversation if we're talking about her. This is all hand stitch, and this is probably one of the most different pieces in here too. But I put it in there because it's part of the sale. But because, you know, my life has unfolded the way it has, then I just am like, oh my God, I think it's just so much work, but it's so rewarding too. It really is rewarding. But I don't know. I think the older I get, the more I get set in my ways in terms of having peace. I love my dogs. My dogs are wonderful. There's just Bishop now. So, but even my animals will work. And I love it. I really do love it. These are feature pieces. This is a pretty yellow basket there. All hand stitch and old. And this is cut in half. So there's another piece somewhere with that in there. So yeah, it's just, boy, yeah, my niece, she's really challenging her mama. That's for sure. But my sister can handle it. Now this one, guys, this piece you might have to redo or fix it up because this, what is that? Flamingo, his eye is kind of off a little bit, but there's some pretty satin stitches and things you can cut out and play with. And that's a half piece, featured piece. So there's another half somewhere. And then there's the other half of that gorgeous pink and green with the running stitches. Love that. Oh, and the material is just beautiful, this fabric. And then this piece, she's really pretty. Just got those pretty purple edges and you know, flowers. And I guess these are supposed to be bluebells. What are those? Bluebells. And then she's carrying flowers and she's really pretty. And if you're looking for just something like that, I have some pieces in my Etsy shop. And there were 2 of these, so I cut that in half. This is really old stuff. And then lots of beautiful florals here with the tree limbs. So yeah. And this piece here with these gorgeous wreaths. There's 2 of those, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daisy stitch flowers, and then you have this edging that looks like machine stitch. I think this edging, is machine stitch. This is definitely hand stitch. Hand stitched. And then this piece is part of a pillowcase. Really pretty, lots of sewing real estate there. And again, if you don't like the stark whiteness of this, you can, whoops, sorry guys, I'm trying to cut this off. You can dye it. I think these yellow flowers, florals, those would be so cool. And that indigo blue that Rosemary makes. I'm determined to get one of her indigo blue packs. I have to. But guys, okay, so while I'm finishing up this, I have a list here. Happy Mail, specifics in summer, and sale. Okay, so I'm not going to be buying any more journals for a long time. And unless it's something that's very specific, I won't. And it's because I have to really buckle down. And what I mean by that is School is just the priority now. It's dominating my life in the best way, my choice. It's what I've chosen to. This is pretty beat up and roughed up, which is probably why I put this piece in here, and because of that eagle thing. But yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 needles, different sizes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins. Just because you get some red scissors and 2 skeins of that. Okay, so there's that pack. Now let me just tell you guys quickly, because this video is going to be super long, but I'm not going to be buying anything, guys, any more journals, or ordering or requesting any more journals, because I've gotten to a point where I can afford them, but I need to be very careful, because we're in times now where, and y'all have never heard me talk about finances, and I'm not really talking about them, but in this space I am, because I usually buy a lot of journals, but I've gotten to the point now where, as a stipend pay, I can't afford it, journals, and I'm not going to really be seeking out to buy for anybody. Here's a purple pack that'll go in my Etsy. So that's kind of just where I am right now, because I got to focus on school. And even with this YouTube channel and my Etsy shop is always going to be, for the most part, I will have it, but I have to cut back even on listing things in my Etsy shop, because there's going to be summer specifics, is what I jotted down on my notes. And so you'll have to just wait and see. Now, what I will say is, you don't have to, but you should probably stay subbed, because I will post things, but it's mostly just going to be popping things into my Etsy shop. The time is just going to get more and more and more minimal for me, because I have to start working on my dissertation, which is really already driving me nuts already. And so I know I haven't been here because of school, but it's going to be even less. But I will keep selling specific things. So that might mean, like, well, you'll just have to stay tuned to see what that means. But it's not going to be my usual kits and packs and stuff like this. This might be my only, these packs might be my only and last packs in my junk journaling YouTube Etsy selling history, to be honest. So that's just so that you can kind of think about things where I am. But I've appreciated everybody. I'm not going away 100%, but I really am scaling back. I do have some things I will sell this summer. It's not things, but it's an item, a specific item that I think people will want and can use and need. But as far as packs go, that's going to scale back. As far as me buying journals, I'm scaling back on that, unless it's somebody that I absolutely have to have a journal for. There's a lot of people too. But I just am in a different space now. So, and I'm pretty sure y'all understand. Anyway, this has some beautiful hankies, and they're all purple and purple flowers and purple thises and that. Buttons, purple cute stuff, some feed sack, purple yo-yos, and thises, and that's a whole piece of feed sack. That stuff is old right there. It's old. Cross stitch, pillows sham with some cross stitching or with some stitching on it, buttons and stuff, and lots of fabric. There's a pillow sham with some would-be ribbon stitching in there, and some purple fabric. So that pile right there is going to go into my Etsy shop. And yeah, just a lot of pretty little playthings, and it's going to be reasonably priced. My history is known for being reasonably priced, but yeah. So there's that. Although pricing things reasonably doesn't mean that people come and sub you or buy from you. Oh, and on top of that goes this piece here because of the purple, and this piece here because it's ready to be made into a Swift or travel mobile sewing station, and then a purple Crown Royal bag to go with that. That all goes with the purple stuff. And then this is a lot of, I've shown you guys, I keep waiting for somebody to stitch in doll clothes into their quilts. I keep saying that and saying it. People are playing with doll clothes, but they're not stitching them into their projects. So I'll show you these again. They're on another video somewhere. These little cute old vintage doll clothes are going into my next stitching panel. They'll probably, one will be in one panel. Look at the pocket. Oh my God. One will be in one panel and the other one will be in another panel. So think about doll clothes as little cute props and prompts to stitch in your quilts. I have another panel going. This little package here is of a doll hand crocheted dress. This pretty baby doll dress here that's very vintage and very old. So cute with the little goats and little houses and trees and bicycles. Somebody riding a bike on it at a boating, and scenery and little bird houses on there, little barns with the horses, horses kind of peeking out. So this little dress is so cute. This is not for my mom's stuff. This is something I bought at a thrift store or an estate sale. I can't remember. So there's two doll dresses there with some pieces and bits and bits and bits and bits. Feed sack octagons or hexagons, I guess, and then other little bits. That's going into my Etsy store, and it goes with this. I don't know why this pink thing is in there, but it's there. So that's a little realm of goodies. Now that'll be in my Etsy shop. I think I'm taking this pink out. I don't like it in there. It's messing up that vintage vibe. Sorry. I change my mind like that all the time. On camera. Not once I mail it or it's out there. It's out there. But that's going out. I'm putting that in, I don't know, something else. Okay, and then before I say goodbye, I have... So how are these... Okay. I'll come back with some other packs, the ones with all the spots on them and the ones with all the, you know, the soiling on them. Now, the wool piece is going to go in here, but this is how I'm wrapping these. These are going to come in medium flat rate boxes. I've already included this box and the shipping in this box because I want them to come priority and get to you as fast as possible. So the way I'm going to do them is, now this one you'll get the wool piece. I haven't cut the wool piece up yet. However, the way I'm going to do this is these will all be sort of, let's just pack one together. I'll show you here. If I can get it all on screen. So the way I'm going to wrap these is, you're already going to pay for this. It'll say free shipping on my Etsy shop, but this price of this box, it's already going to be in there. It's $14 for this. I'm only charging you, I think, $12, I think is what I'm charging you. So it's going to come in like this. And for all you new sellers, learning experiences. Okay, oi, 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 oi. The only thing that won't be in here on this camera is the wool piece. I'm going to cut that up in a minute. So basically, actually, I'm going to take your larger Crown Royal bag, and I'm going to stick all of these goodies in there. And I'm not going to tie them up. They're going in just like that. It would be, I know, really a great presentation if I were to tie them up, but we're not doing that. We're just going to stick to the basics here. So they're going to go in there. There's your 2 skeins, your scissors, your buttons, and your needle pack. And be careful with the needle pack. Okay, I might put that in. I think I'll put your scissors and your needle pack in. What do I have? Hang on, guys. Hold on. Okay, your needle pack is going to go, and your pins, needle pack, pins, and scissors will go in a folded safe pack. Okay, so that will be in there so you don't stick yourself. And then all of it, this is so fun. Oh, I love these. This is so fun. And it's kind of my goodbye to all this Etsy selling and YouTubing, and maybe one of these days when I don't have anything else in the world to do, I can get back to it. Okay, so it's going to go in this brand new plastic bag. This is hard to show you guys on camera because they're big. So there it is. Brand new plastic bag. These are brand new. And then that on top. And I'm going to put your wool in there. So don't worry. I'm going to get the wool. I'm just showing you how I'm wrapping it. So there's that. There will not be a thank you note in here, guys. So I'm sorry, but it's going to be all smushed and smushed down into this box, which is stuffed. Okay, there it is, and that's going to be a flat rate. It's already in the price. And so those of you who know me, and unfortunately for those who don't know me, there won't be a thank you note. So I'm saying thank you now if you buy them now, and I appreciate y'all. And what else was I going to tell you? I have a summer job. I haven't worked in summer, over the summer, in years. I mean, like, I can't even remember the last time I had a summer job. Now, that's not a complaint, because the summer job I have this summer is so dead on up my dissertation alley. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. And then of course I have writing to do. I have a lot of reading to do. I have a reading list that's insane. So I won't keep whining about that. What else was I going to tell you? I think that's it. Now I will come back. I still have, so once I see how these packs go, they're going in my Etsy shop. You go over there and look at the price, so you can either run or purchase. It's up to you. It doesn't matter whatever you do. I will have later, let's see how many, and these come from my mama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 cupcake. Oh, maybe 7. This one's really unique though. Let's see. Yeah, that one's a unique one. But these are so cute. So 7 cupcake kits coming. So I guess this isn't my last kit. Well, this will be. This is the last round of all the stuff before the end of this month. So I have 7 cupcake kits coming from Kate. inspired. It's her idea. She's the first person I ever saw say cupcake pin cushions. I love pin cushions. And I think her cupcake pin cushions are just the freaking bomb. This one I think was made out of an old, like one of those old lipstick holder powder things. So I kept that. I kept these from my mom's stuff because I'll probably make pin cushions for myself out of these. This one still has the glass. This one does not. And I want to get more into making things instead of selling things. And then this little cup was from my mama's stuff. And I have a whole host of cup and saucers. This is old. A whole host of cup and saucers that, you know, I have to think about them. I have to love on them and sit with them for a while and decide, you know, what I want to do with them. So, yeah. So that's probably the next thing I'll be back with. Now, before I go, because this video is long as hell, and I'm sorry, I'll come back and show you the fabrics that I kept that had a lot of spots on them. And somebody may want those because they're very, very, they're beautiful old fabrics. And they have storytelling spots on them. And I've kept as much as I could keep. But somebody out there in the world, in the stitching world, oh, my phone. Okay. Somebody out there in the stitching world may want them for their stitching projects. And then I have, yeah, just stuff that I'm going to sell and get rid of because I'm not going to do this anymore. Like for real. This is kind of the end of it for me. And I've said that before, but this time I really do mean it. Like for real. But I will have very specific. I'm not shutting down my YouTube. I'm not shutting down my Etsy shop. But there will be things this summer that are very specific and very few and spare and rare in terms of quantity and stuff like that. Okay. I love you guys, and I'll be back to show you what I come up with this. I got to study Kate's videos first. That's how I came up with junk journaling kits, is by studying what makers make. So I got to study her video first, and then I'll come back, and put some kits together so y'all can make a cupcake pincushion. Anyway, yeah. So look for the packs to list in my shop by the time this video goes up. Thank you for being here. I think there was something else I was going to tell you guys, but I forgot. If I think of it, I'll make another video. I will be making another video for this stuff. So, yeah, and that's it. Bye, guys. Thank you for being here. Mwah.